Dblock Express. What's up? Yeah. So let's hear it again. I know she don't call back, son. The story on how the middle finger came to be.
Alright, French and the English had a war. And the English were famous for their archery.
Okay.
And they were able to actually, they were like the most world famous archers in the world.
Okay.
And the French had the English trapped off.
French
in
versus
France.
English.
Right, in France. And every time the French would capture an Englishman, they would cut his finger off. So he couldn't use the bow and arrow.
Okay.
Alright? And so, when the French, so the French and English negotiated a peace. And they let the English leave the country with the peace, because they were losing the war. French and English have had wars and wars throughout the history. People were leaving, the warriors, they walked out of the French and did like this. We still got our finger! We still got our finger!
This was back when?
It's like 1200s, 1100s, 1000s. That's how far back it goes.
Wow.
Yeah, way back when. And that's how it is that this finger became the fuck you sign. Because the French were cutting off the fingers on the English.
Okay.
And the English negotiated a peace with the French, and then when they left the country, they walked out the country doing like this to the French soldiers. So we still got our fingers. And that's how it came to be. That's a true story.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Let them know one more time how Friday the 13th came to be.
Alright, Friday the 13th.
That's the next one.
The poor people in, I think it was Holland, I might be wrong, it might be the Netherlands, it's one of them countries anyway. The poor people needed to, after the harvest was done at this time of year, and they had made their little money from harvesting their crops and that, they were still poor. And it was one of them bad years where, food and water was kind of scarce. So what they did was, they sent the kids out to scavenge their food from people because they thought the people would feel sorry for the kids.
Okay.
And knocking on people's doors to scavenge their food.
This is how Halloween came to be. Halloween came to be. Yep.
And they did it, and they did it on a night when it was cold and bad weather and all that. And if you didn't give them something, the kids would do something to you. Throw eggs at you, or not eggs, because that was food, but do something to you, okay? Go trip your horse or something like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Push the cow over.
Yeah. Do that. Shit like that, okay? I don't understand that either. What's up with pushing cows for?
Cow can't get up on its own.
You can't?
Nah.
Really? I see them laying down. That's what they get up.
Oh, no, that's what the farmers say.
So anyway, it became a trick or treat festival every year.
Oh.
Okay?
Around this time?
Around this time of year.
Okay.
And because of that, it became something I was a hallowed night is what it meant. Like a night for something or other. I don't forget what it was. But anyway, it was never meant to be a scary night. And then it just developed into that over the years, over the centuries. Okay? But it never had anything to do with Christ, God, church, or anything like that. And don't let anybody tell you that. Okay? It wasn't. Just like the finger didn't have nothing to do with whatever it is they tell you it was. Okay?
Yeah.
Alright, so if anybody's trying to tell you Halloween is a sin and a curse and is a devil worshiping night, it had nothing to do with that at all, period. That's an ignorant person.
Okay.
Okay, who was led to believe some things in life that aren't true.
You're saying that Halloween came to be because Halloween used to be on Friday the 13th.
No, that's not true either.
That's not true either.
No.
So
Friday the 13th came to be because the Templar Knights went to go find King Solomon's tomb for the Pope and all of that. And what they found was the Dead Sea Scrolls. And the Dead Sea Scrolls, there was a guy named Constantinople.
Yep.
We heard it, right?
Yep.
Constantinople convened all of the churches of the world when he had his empire into one place. And when he did, they decided that they were going to come up with what was the Bible, taking it from the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls are supposed to be the actual true books of the Bible. But he only took out of there what he wanted out of there to make him and his empire look good. Okay? White people. Okay? And verses. But he didn't do it all white people. Okay? The church came out with that later. That he just, because actually they have the verses in the Bible where they tell you that Christ was a brown man. Okay? So anyway, when he convened all of this stuff, okay, that was all well and good. Then the church became the power. The church became, you had the power of authority of the government, which was Constantine, but you had to have the people, the masses of people believe in something they have faith in, other than just its government. So it was the church. So along with their beliefs, and they started preaching the Bible and that, for Christianity purposes, which was after the Roman Empire, okay, had fallen in that. So what he did was, he put together some books, and they became the Bible. And this Bible was the only Bible allowed to have as a Bible, as the real official version of the Bible, sanctioned by the government to be the Bible. It didn't include all of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Okay. Now, the church wanted the actual true King Solomon's temple to be. The Moors and the Turks and all of them took over the Holy Lands. They invaded them and won. Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, all those countries down there, Israel, they took that over. That's their Holy Lands, all right? Where not Buddha, but Muhammad and Christ and all of them had walked the earth in that, right? Yeah. That's the Holy Lands. Well, the Moors went down there and took it over. And now they don't worship no Christianity or nothing like that. So they were supposed to be barbarians and heathens. So the King of England and the King of France and the King of Germany and the King of Prussia and the King of Sweden, all them Anglo-Saxon countries decided to have a crusade, go back to get the Holy Lands. Yeah. And to do that, they sent all these armies down there together to do this, to fight the Turks and the Moors and the other fools. And they said the Knights of Templar were the best of the best. They were like the Marines. Okay. Okay. They were the best of the very best. The Knights of Templar's job was to go with these armies, and whatever you do, your job is to find King Solomon's temples and get these Dead Sea Scrolls that were left behind. Okay? Now, they went down there and they found something. We don't know what. But they believe it to be proof that Christ wasn't what it is it says in the Bible. Now you got the world worshiping Christ, doing all these acts that Christ did, doing all these things that Christ did, and there's 33 years of Christ's life that isn't accounted for. Yes. And it's supposed to be within the Dead Sea Scrolls that prove he was a human being and not sent from God. This controverts the church. So they blackmailed the church. Okay. We want land, we want gold, we want castles, we want kingdoms, and we want them all over the world. And we don't want to have to be ruled by you. And to do so, you're going to do what we say, or we're going to let the world know about the real things that you have done with your faith. All those times you killed people and all those things you've done and all those things that you say that Christ did and didn't do and how Christ may have been a black man and all that, we're going to let you know. All right? And proof that Christ may have had a baby by Mary Magdalene. Wow. Okay? Because in the Bible and in the scriptures somewhere it says that Mary Magdalene was his companion, and companion back in those days meant wife. Okay? He may have been an unmarried man that had a child, which is really against what it is you're preaching in the church. Yeah. Follow what I'm saying? Yeah. And the bloodline still exists. Wow. Because after Christ was crucified, Mary Magdalene was whisked away out of the Holy Lands to France. That's a proof. That's for sure. And she stayed with the Knights of Templar. Okay. Okay? Yeah. And was supposed to be pregnant at the time it happened. Now that's supposed to be a true story. But there's no proof of it. And eventually she ended up in Ireland, hiding from the church. Okay? Now that's supposed to be the true story. The Knights of Templar are the people that whisked her out. So with them goes the secret. Okay? Now the Pope don't like being blackmailed. Not my church. I'm in power. Yeah. You disprove what it is that put me in power, you take away my power. Right? Yeah. So he gave what they wanted for years and years and years, and then finally one day he said, you know what, at 12 o'clock at night on Friday the 13th, we're going to kill all the fucking Knights of Templars. So he sent out emissaries, and they assassinated all of them, thousands of them, all on one night. Which was? Friday the 13th. And that's how he became. And some of them got away. Oh. And they supposedly got away with the proof. Okay. To this day. Wow. Okay? Yeah. And that's how Friday the 13th became an unlucky